Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch The Legend of Korra Season 4, Episode 8. Today I'm gonna watch 2 or 3 episodes. It's gonna depend on the day, you know, the weather, the lights, and also on the mood. I have to say it, I was not supposed to film today, but I just finished to edit some videos. I don't know when these videos are gonna be out, so I can't tell, but that was exhausting. I was crying on screen, I was crying out of screen. Exhausting, really. So really, I talked with myself. We had a meeting into my head, and I was really like, you need to watch something fun, something nice, something sweet. Like, you need to take a breath from all of what is happening into other shows and things which are so bad. So that's why I decided to watch some episodes of The Legend of Korra. Really, right now, you know, with all of the shows that I'm watching, it's my comfort show. When I'm watching it, I'm really like, it's okay. Even if a lot of bad stuff are happening into it, like we are into a dictator, thanks to Kuvira. It's nothing else, you know, than a dictator ruled by a fascist. Like, she's making wars to be sure that no one is gonna accept. Like, she's making wars to be sure that no one is gonna escape from our country. And, no, not our country, our empire. They are saluting her like that. She wants a cult, you know, around her personality. She's putting into re-education camps people who are not thinking like her, and also people according to their origins and their bandings. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. And you know, it's bad because when I think about when we discovered her and the first minutes that I was with her, I was just impressed, you know, by how great she was as a bender and the fact that she was arresting people without causing any violence, you know. I remember the stuff with the handcuffs, and just after that I discovered that she was manipulating these people, and after that I discovered how she's conquering new territories by, again, manipulating people, by offering them help, but in fact by not giving them help, serving their kingdom, so you're serving them. She's not offering them this help, she's blackmailing them in a way. So I think that it was Ariana, you know, on Patreon, you told me that you never saw me losing hope so quickly. True, girl, really? So yes, we're into a dictator. Right now the situation, they're gonna make experiences with the vines of that big tree, you know, I can't remember its name, into the swamp. The only good thing which can happen after that is the fact that because of that, tough, you're gonna get involved. Like, that's it. You can't hide yourself anymore into the swamp being like, no, I don't care about what is happening out of the swamp, into the world. I'm connected to the world with the vines, so I already know everything and you don't need my help and all. Now they are doing that, you know, in front of you to your swamp, you're gonna get involved. And when you're gonna have that reunion with you and Zuko and Katara, maybe the old gang, and I did not give up on having a reunion between Zuko and Iroh. I want it on screen. The more we are progressing into this season, the last one of this show, the more time is passing, the more I think that in fact it's happening already right now out of screen, and they're gonna do something like we're gonna find them already together. Like, no, it can't happen like that. I want to see that moment, you know, the two of them looking at each other being like, oh. to see that. And if I don't see that, just be sure that I imagined it already so much into my mind that, oh, it was beautiful. We'll see. We're into a bad position. Kuvira, they need to fight. I'm not even sure, like, you don't want to kill people during that fight, and she managed to convince so many people, like, you need to change their minds, you need to show to everyone what she does, how she's doing all of that. I'm not sure how you can do it, but I'm sure that you can. And who can take the throne after you? Prince Hu. We need to learn life to Prince Hu. Like, the kid for now is annoying, is arrogant, but he's fun, and he has a nice heart, so I think that we can learn him life, and little by little maybe he can get interest to real life, to his citizens, to the Earth Kingdom. I really hope so. Something which was fun during the last episode, it was Varric and Julie. Now that I had time to think about it, that I edited this episode and all, everything seems so clear now for me. Of course, in the beginning she had feelings for him. Why would she have stayed with him for so many times? It's so clear now. And I'm really not buying the fact that she's working for Kuvira and stuff like that. I don't think so. And the fact that Varric, he miss her, it's sweet. Like, that's it already. I fall into that ship just like that. So I want the two of them to get back together. It's not the real word for them, because now we're never together, but you've got what I meant by that. And Varric is nice right now, like, he's trying his best to take the right decisions, to be someone nice. I'm all for it, and I'm really like, congratulations Varric, I can see your efforts, continue into that direction. It's really like, you know, I'm a teacher and I'm giving him advices like that. So right now we have Varric and Bolin taking that boat, you know, with these persons. We have Kuvira who did that, was Su's family. We have Korra who went out of the situation with the girls. She's gonna go to Republic City now, but to do what? Like, how can you convince people to intervene right there? It's really a diplomatic, politic situation. It's great to have that story, you know, to have that subject explored, but I'm not sure of what we can do with that. And I said it, and I'm gonna say it a lot, I'm glad that they are exploring it even more, because Korra, all of her hallucinations, you know, with her old enemies repeating her what they wanted to do, the fact that they wanted equality, the fact that they wanted people to be free and all, I always said that Amon and also Zahir, at the beginning of things, they had good ideas, you know. How they did it, it was awful, but it was good ideas. And I saw also during the first season that things were not right, you know. People were not equals between the ones with bandings and the ones without bandings, and I thought that they could have done something about it, but they didn't. And Zahir, he wanted people to be free, to break all of the world, you know, in Ba Sing Se, and to be sure that no one would have to obey like that anymore to dictators and all. Of course I'm gonna be all for it also. So I hope that Korra, she's gonna think about it more and she's gonna do something about it also. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have the episodes earlier. We have 4 episodes of advance. It's a lot. It means that if you are watching this on YouTube, no, 1, 2, we're almost at the end of the season, in fact. Or we're already at the end of the season. I have trouble to count the... 4 episodes of Advance with extended or full reaction parts. It's the best way to support me. If you can't, you can still subscribe, like, comment. It's helping me also. Let's go for this episode 8. I'm in such a good mood, like really I'm taking The Legend of Korra as a vacation almost with all of the other shows. I know that it's not the case and that it can make me mad a lot, you know, if Kuvira is doing something bad and all, I'm gonna be really mad. I love so much that universe that no matter what, it's cool, you know, to be into it. I'm gonna be so sad and melancholic when I'm gonna say goodbye to this universe. Ah, that's gonna be a memory episode? Okay, why not? Really? A vacation episode. I'm all for it.
Is there a special lady in your life?
Not since Korra and I broke up.
What? You dated the Avatar? Sit. You and I need to have a little get right now.
Oh, it's gonna be cool and Makoi deserves that.
Mako? Wow, I heard you play on the radio.
Come on, Bolin.
You didn't consider her at
First
all.
time you met? Kind of rude there, buddy.
Korra proved to be an amazing pro-bender. And a loyal friend. She helped me save Bolin when he was taken by the Equalists.
Oh, it's cool to see all of that
Such a crazy
with your side of the
I felt like
story.
Korra and I had a powerful connection.
Yes, she's beautiful.
Wait, that was the first thing you said to Asami? You really gotta work on your introductions.
I remember that episode. Do you remember how mad I was, you
I'm
know,
really sorry, but
what happened with Bolin
I
and
just don't
all?
feel the same way about you. I also think you're pretty amazing.
I don't want to see it again, I don't want to see it again.
Luke City, here we come. Thought you were dating Asami.
Dude,
You're there?
get out of here.
So,
I wasn't dating Asami.
Denial.
Okay, maybe I was dating her.
Yes, you
It's all
were.
very confusing.
You have feelings for her, don't you?
Things are crazy right now. Can we deal with our relationship problems later?
Well, there might not be any relationship to worry.
she was so nice and patient with you, Asami.
I'm sorry things got so messed up between us. But whatever happens today, I want you to know how much I care about you.
I care about you too.
Wait, was that supposed to be you breaking up with her?
Yes, that was a breakup.
Didn't sound like a breakup.
I love you, Korra.
Oh, that was so cool. Can we come back to that?
Are you breaking up with me?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Now that's a breakup.
Yep.
My company. It's over.
No, it's not.
I give up.
Well, I'm not giving up on you.
Actually, I'm completely fine with that. You officially broke up with Korra.
If only it had been that simple.
Ah. Poor Asami, like really,
I missed you too.
each time.
So you were back with Asami, but then Korra came back and thought you guys were still together and you didn't tell her you weren't?
Just like your grandfather.
Seems like you're so afraid to disappoint anyone that you end up disappointing everyone.
Truer words have never been spoken. High five!
True.
Well, eventually
Why didn't you just tell me the truth in the first place?
I know I should have, but I didn't want to hurt you all over again. First, it was awkward being around Korra and Asami. As you were. Ladies.
But now
Then I
the team is
realized
back.
I had to figure out who I was without a lady in my life.
I know what that's like because I have so many all over me all the time.
Well,
Whenever I think of her, she continues to inspire me.
Wow!
but what about your art now?
Okay, come at me. I can take it. Ah! Move down!
I've just been thinking about something Toph said. She told me that the world doesn't need me, and it's basically pointless to try to stop Kuvira. The world does need you. You're the Avatar. But no matter what I do, the world seems to always be out of balance. I thought I was really gonna change things.
Okay, your memories, it's gonna be about your job
The first
as
time
the
I saw
Avatar.
a monster someone's bending away, I was terrified.
Oh, that was awful. Just to remember it.
The Equalist movement lost its leader and its power. Free elections were held in a united republic, and non-benders finally had a voice. Because of Unalaq, I betrayed Tenzin, opened the portals, and threw the spirit and human worlds into chaos. And I was helpless to stop him from destroying Raava and cutting off my connection to my past lives.
She cut the connections, they are still there. She just lost the connection.
I mean,
I'm glad that she
you turned
just
into a
used
giant spirit.
the the same world.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. You brought back the airbenders and caused a positive shift in the world. Yes, but Zahir got airbending too and nearly killed me. There would have been no crisis in the Earth Kingdom and Kuvira wouldn't be in power. Nothing's changed.
The Earth Kingdom was already in crisis.
I am?
Always be new conflicts and enemies to face. But the important thing is to learn from your enemies, better yourself over time, which you have. When you first came here, you were hot-headed and a bit selfish. But you've matured into a thoughtful young woman who puts the needs of others before herself. You sacrificed everything to save them. You're an inspiration to the world.
I know this Kuvira problem is only going to get worse. But no matter what happens, I'll always try to restore balance.
The most exciting tale ever told, soon to become the greatest mover ever made. The incredible true story of Bolin, hero of the world.
The story of Bolin begins in an
You're gonna show all of the times that he helped, that he
a
saved
rich
them.
merchant in the world, and in walks Nuktuk, with a twinkle in his eye, a gorgeous dame on his arm, and a song on his lips. Where can I find my teacher?
He didn't have it like that.
Come on! I wasn't singing. Mommy is just a friend, thank you very much.
At some point I thought that she could be something else.
Your on-screen talent, kid. Leave the storytelling to the masters. So, the trouble begins when the Avatar is trapped in the spirit world.
Your way to tell the story is a mess.
The time is right to
Very
take out
really.
Bolin. So, the worst
It's
of the
worse
worst
than my
team up.
reviews.
They're led by Zahir. He's joined by Vaatu, the ultimate force of pure spirit evil in the universe, the biggest need.
All of the villains.
How did that even happen?
How do you think?
Hello.
I'm glad I caught you at home.
Oh, very funny. Like I can leave this stupid tree.
Amon, the reanimated zombie body of the blood-bending leader of the Equalists.
Hey guys, I'm totally in for taking out Bolin, but can we please not include...
Not include who? Amon.
The evil Unalak. After leaving the beautiful but emotionally unstable Water Tribe princess at the altar, he had a fetching airbender.
Yes, he does.
So pretty to smell. And she'll probably never talk to me again because I'm so stupid.
No, it's gonna be okay.
For at his lowest point, Bolin sought advice from the man who started it all, the wisest of the wise, me.
Okay guys, I think we finally got it. Very funny. I'm still on the line. So, about that evil plan to destroy Nuktuk.
Then he flies around in the sky, pushes Zahir into it, turning him into wind forever. But Bolin
Oi,
was
oi.
real.
What an
And when
imagination,
Yuji shoots
really.
his laser eyes at the evil Unalak and hit Bolin, turning him into a giant. But when Vaatu is so close to Vaatu that they combine into one horrifying monster. Giant
You need to
Bolin
stop,
and
Varric.
evil
Like,
Vaatu
I can't
fight
follow you
toe-to-toe.
anymore.
Bolin's spiritual mojo is so strong that he attracts the queen of the fairies
Into magic dust and sprays him into the sky. And that's where the stars come from.
Nah, you're such a good
You
public.
like that? It didn't make any sense. What about Zombie Amon? What happened to him, huh?
It's just a mover. Don't overthink it. It's like a ride.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, kid.
I'm almost taking it, that end of the episode as the writers telling us to not think too much about the end of the season 2. Like, don't think about it too much, it's just a mover. Yes, it doesn't make sense, like the end that right there Varric is offering. Okay, with all of these villains, all of these situations which never existed, but what he really presented right there, it was the end of the season 2. It was that battle, it was Jinora coming like that, like the Queen of the Fairies, it was turning Vaatu into dust, into light dust. It really happened. And the fact that Bolin is saying that it doesn't make sense, and the fact that Varric is responding that, I'm really taking it as the writers saying to their viewers, don't think about it too much. But at the same time, it's also them confessing that maybe, yes, it was not so logical, and maybe people had the right to not like it so much. Maybe they had other expectations, and it's okay. We're sorry. Okay, it's not logical, but come on, it's a movie, it's a show. Don't think about it too much and move on. I'm really taking it like that. A little wink coming from the writers. Okay. It doesn't mean that I appreciate the end of the season 2, still now, but at least, okay, I can deal with it. That was cool, an episode like that, you know, a memory episode, and with a lot of them, you know, I mean, a lot of them. 3 of them, I'm not counting Varric, because Varric was supposed to tell Bolin's story, and in fact we had the story of Mako, the story of Korra, and the story of Bolin. Okay, including into that Asami and all of the other ones, but at the end it was about these 3, and these 3 are the main characters of this show, so it's cool to have that focus on Mako, because, you know, it was his story, but the focus was not, for example, on his broader relationship with Bolin. It was not focused on that, it was really about his relationships, and I think that it's cool, because I think that people are blaming Mako a lot for that. I read on your comments that some of you don't like Mako, and a lot because in fact is used a lot for love relationships. Since this season it's not the case, you know, it was not the case during this season, but during the 3 last seasons it was used a lot, like a love interest during the season 1 for Korra, and after that all of that love triangle with Korra and Asami, that was painful to watch. That was logical because they are teenagers, but that was painful to watch. And during the season 3 he was really arguing a lot with Korra. Like, if you're thinking about it, Mako, he never had a peaceful relationship, not really, with his girls, and he made a lot of mistakes into his relationships, and I was mad several times at him with how he handled the situation. So to have the writers coming back to that story, telling that story with his side, you know, like with his eyes, so we can understand him more and maybe also forgive him a little for the mistakes that he made, because right there he's explaining that he wanted to do good but he didn't succeed and he knows it. Like, it's almost like with the end of the episode I have the impression that the writers are saying sorry for the end of the season 2, but come on, it's just a mover. Don't try to understand it too much, like, it's okay if it's not logical. Right there with the story of these love relationships that we can see with the eyes of Mako, it's almost like the writers telling us that, okay, all of what Mako did was bad, we know it, and if we are summarizing all of what he did, it's really bad, but at the end he's just a teenager, he had feelings for these girls, he tried his best, and he did better during this season. You know, it's really like the writers talking directly to the viewers. And with Korra, is it the case also with Korra's memories? Maybe not, because Korra's memories, it was really in fact about her mission as the Avatar, and the fact that the world needs the Avatar, you know, to say that this world needs the Avatar, and that Korra evolved after all of this time, after all of what she lived. She managed to succeed, you know, against all of her enemies, and to learn from her mistakes, to change stuff. Also, you know, like, it's not just she fought with the villains and she won and that's it, that was all. No, after fighting with Amon, she did things to help Republic City to have an elected president, to have more equality into this city. And after that, when she fought with Unalaq, she released at the end all of the spirits. It brought back all of the airbenders. It's really to show us that this world needs the Avatar, and that Korra, as the Avatar, she did a good job because she won against her enemies and she learned from her personal mistakes, but also the mistakes that maybe were done by the Avatar before her, or by this society and all of that. Which is the case. Maybe in fact, yes, you know, it's still the writers talking to the viewers, to the ones of you who don't like Korra. I still don't understand why, because me, I loved her since the beginning. Yes, at some moments she was annoying, but she was annoying because she was acting really like a teenager, but she never disappointed me as the Avatar, you know, as her decisions as the Avatar and all of that. It was more with her personal, private relationships and actions that sometimes I was a little disappointed by her, but never with what she did as the Avatar. If we're not talking about the fact that she lost the connection with the past lives. And again, they used the same words during this episode. I'm seeing it since the beginning, you know, since it happened, since we lost the connection with the past lives. Each time I'm insisting on the fact that they used these words to describe the situation. She lost the connection. They are still there, the past lives. You're just not connected with them anymore, you just can't talk with them anymore, but they are still there. And it's the first time since it happened that they are talking about it again, and they are using the same words. No, cutting the connection. But they are still talking about, you know, the fact that it's a connection which was lost, which was cut. Like, if I'm losing the connection with internet, you know, with the world through internet, the world is still right there. Like, everyone out there, they still have internet and all of that. It's still somewhere. I just lost the connection with it. You understand what I mean? They're still there. She's just lost the connection, okay? They repeated the same words, and I'm glad. I know I read your comments, you telling me that I have to give up on that she's never gonna have the connection again with these past lives, and that's it. It's lost and it's forever, and in fact it's a good thing because it's like beginning from zero again, and it's good, and it's also putting Korra as the real Avatar, like we don't have to compare her anymore to Aang and all that. See that face? See that person right there? In my imaginary world, okay, Korra, she lost the connection with the past lives, but when the next Avatar is gonna come, he's gonna have connection again with all of the past lives, including Korra. I'm sorry, but in my dreams, in my imaginary world, it's happening like that. Just know that for each shows, movies, animes, books, everything that I'm watching, that I'm reading, when something is not pleasing me, I'm creating an imaginary version of this world in which things are happening like I wanted them to happen, and I'm going, well, I have a powerful imagination, just know that. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now, and I'm gonna watch at least one more episode, maybe more than that. It could be great, you know, to progress into the story, because I love Memories episode, but we didn't progress at all into the story. We'll see. Okay, so it's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.